Good morning. We're live. Mike, early morning, Wednesday. It's the official countdown. I know there, wipe your eyes away. Official countdown. It's 3 weeks as of today. To say we're excited is an understatement. Final preparations underway. I don't know, but it's just whirlwind. I can remember 3 months ago we were talking about the potential conference, and now it's 3 weeks, 21 days and counting. Tell us some stuff about the partner sphere before we get going, if you don't mind, Mike.
Yeah, very briefly, we're going to have a room packed full of, it's hundreds of years of industry expertise all assembled in one room. I mean, they're very experienced partners. We're well supported this year. Big thank you to all our partners and sponsors and our headline sponsors, Tipalti, for your support. We can't do it without you, as you know. We've also got some of our alliance partners joining us on the day. So Hayes will be there, bringing all the insight from the world of recruitment and what's going on. And if Karen's amazing. She'll be bringing her update for us as well. We've got Chris Argent from Generation CFO, Terry Corby from the Good Business Pays campaign. We're going to have we've got the team from Shared Service Forum UK and Investors in Excellence as well, and a couple of others should they confirm. But no, all good. And our team, a big thank you to our team, really. You know who you are. You're doing an excellent job, and it allows Jamie and I to do what we need to do to get this all pulled together on time. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest.
Super excited, super pumped as always. And yeah, you mentioned Investors in Excellence. I spoke to Judy Hart last week, and we'll continue the conversation. So Judy will be joining us again at the conference, where she runs our P2P leadership program, and some exciting news there. We're going to expand that program somewhat, and we are looking to announce a mentorship program as well. But I will let Judy go through that on the day. So make sure you stop by our stand, the APA stand. Please come and see us. I'm going to have a chat with Judy. Now, look, Mike, it's going to be a shorter session today because we've got a lot on. It's a short week as well. I'm going to share my screen in a second and take people through the agenda and all the things to expect during the conference. But before I start, it is a matter of days before you can get your last nominations in for the awards. So 2 things. Firstly, you will hopefully see lots of posts on social media such as LinkedIn with people either being nominated and happily telling people they've been nominated, which is amazing, or maybe they've been awarded a place on the top 100. If you see them, if you see people posting, go like, share, comment, go and give them your support, because whether they've been nominated or they've been successfully in an award or make a place on top 100, they want your support. So please, the only way we can keep it, what we call keep the world going blue during the next 3 weeks and more, is for people to like, share, and comment. So you'd be amazed at just a like on somebody's post, what that means to them. So go and like somebody's post, have a trawl around the social media, have a trawl through LinkedIn. If you see somebody's made the top 100 influencer list this year, it is a phenomenal achievement. So make sure, if you can, just like when you're watching YouTube and they go subscribe, share, and all this sort of stuff, just put your thumbs up, give them a like, because it means an awful lot to them, it means an awful lot to us as a community, and an awful lot to us as the APA Association. Now, finally, before we go on to our share screen, if you want to get your hands on one of these Prime Awards, this was one I was personally handed back in 2020, one of our awards. You still have time until Friday of this week. This year, like every year, we have lots and lots of nominations, and we are going to do it in a slightly different format this year. So the awards nominations will come in, they'll go to a panel, there'll be a shortlist, a finalist shortlist, which will be announced, which we'll announce in the next week or two. And then on the day, the shortlist finalists will be announced up on the big screen. So you get your name up in lights, and then there'll be a winner and a runner-up. So make sure before Friday of this week, you've got your nominations in, and please don't keep messaging me going, Jamie, I'm rubbish at these things. Have we got any more time and dates? I'm up against it this year personally, because I have a panel of expert judges who are going to take this process through. So as much as I can probably try and coerce and get a few more in, I'm trying to give them enough time to go through all the nominations. So please make sure you get them in time. Right, Mike. So we share the screen, and let's take our audience through the agenda. So hopefully everybody can see this on their screen. We thought we'd take you through, firstly, the agenda of who's talking on the day, and it's going to be a whistle-top tour. So it's, for anybody who's watching, it's in Birmingham. It's at the BCEC, which is the Birmingham Conference and Event Centre, which is the conference centre, the large conference centre attached to the Holiday Inn, which is at the back of Grand Central, the old New Street station. Pre-registration or registration and networking is at 9 o'clock. If you want to get there a little earlier, we'll be there, no doubt, with a glass of orange juice waiting for you and some bacon butties. So 9 o'clock it starts. I'll be up on stage. You can't miss me. I'm the small fat bald one up on stage with my colleague Richard George, who's our educational director. We'll give you a bit of a welcome around 9:30. And then we hand over to the MC extraordinaire, the one and only Michael Ryan, who's going to be joining us for some jollities, some just getting us back to how we felt back in the days of 2019 when Michael was our MC. So Michael's going to be our MC throughout the day. He'll be comparing alongside Richard. 9:40. Mike, do you want to introduce 9:40? That's Karen and Alison from the team at Hayes.
Yeah, no, Karen every year brings us what's going on in their world. Well, I say their world, it's everyone's world, because they're one of the largest recruits in the UK, and the data that they provide and share is always well received. But yeah, really proud to have Karen and the team supporting again this year. They'll be there. They'll have a little stand. Go and see them if you want advice on your next move or how to progress and develop your careers. Obviously, training, professional things. They'll, there's a lot of companies that Karen and the Hayes team work with who are looking for good people. It's one of the biggest areas that is, growing in terms of AP and transactional finance.
Totally agree. And as you said, Mike, Karen and Alison always do an amazing job. And it's the insights they provide for us, which is amazing. They take us through an annualized view of what the careers look like, what salaries look like, and what next year looks like. Looking forward to that. One of the things we've done this year very purposely is allowed lots of networking time and sessions. So straight after Karen's session and Alison's session, there'll be a small conference break, a coffee break. Lots of tea and cakes, no doubt. We are always blessed with lots of tea and cake. Get to the front of the queue before Mike does, because he's always first in the queue.
Yep.
It gives you sort of 20 minutes. And what we always say to you, go and meet your fellow peers, have a coffee and network, go and see our sponsors, our partners. It's a non-salesy environment. You're all in the same room. They're not scary people, I promise you. Go and talk to them. Go and educate yourself. Go and ask questions. And actually, throughout the day, there's competitions galore. And one of the competitions that we're running, the association are running, is to win an iPad. So if you really want to win an iPad, details will be, closer to the time, but part of it is about engaging. So get there on the day, get your name in terms of you want to go forward for that iPad, which should be exclusive. But actually, it's all about engaging with the community. 10:30, I'm not going to say much about him. Brad Burton, UK's number one motivational speaker and business speaker, he's going to be recharging us. It's called No Pause, No Rewind. He'll be thinking about where we were in 2019, giving his viewpoint, what's happened in the last 2.5 years. But if you're not pumped up and recharged after his session, well, nothing will pump you up and recharge you. Trust me, that room will be absolutely go through a range of emotions. And at the end of that, you absolutely will feel like the day is yours to go and win and the year's ready for you to win. So that'd be a great session by Brad. Another break then. Then I'm delighted to say we have our power panel. I had the great session a couple of weeks ago where I jumped on a panel session as a pre-run through with Mary, Patsy, Rachel Long, Sam Ryan and Rebecca Howard. If you were to put a power panel together and say, all right, I want these people on a lineup who are experts in their field, industry experts, been there, done it, been on stages, have just perfect voices, tone, and industry expertise, that's the panel you choose. I promise you. That panel will blow your socks off. Although it's entitled Your People, Your AP Function, the depth and the level of questions they'll go into, sharing their expertise and industry expertise. And we're using an app this year, Mike, called Slido. Can you just tell us a little bit about Slido, how that works and what it's all about?
I would if I knew how it works, but no, it's some. Yeah, we've run it before. I believe there'll be interactive poll surveys. So if you download the app, connect. I mean, if you're not connected to people on LinkedIn, you see they're there. Do the LinkedIn thing as well. But I think it's just it's about interaction, so we can actually do it all together. There's a lot of people in the room. We're up over 340 people, I think, at the moment. So it's like I say, we'll come back later. I think there's a couple of tickets left for members, but I think we're pretty much sold out. So the Slido app is for us to do stuff together as a community on the day, I think.
Yeah,
quite
you're
easy.
right.
It's easy to use, isn't it? It's just yes.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, again, just a reminder. So you should have had an email from us with your tickets and your allocation, your joining instructions. In there should be a section in there about downloading the Slido app. And again, it just helps you. So if you don't feel confident enough to grab the mic and ask a question to the panels, the experts, or whoever, the Slido allows you to do that. So you can interact on the polls, you can ask questions to the panels, and it's just a very quick downloadable app. At the end of the conference, you can just delete it from your phone. So have a look at your joining instructions, make sure you've got the Slido app. So that will be an amazing panel. We then follow that panel with another amazing panel. I've got to be honest, how good payment practices can impact your ESG agenda. And what a lineup again. Liz Barkley, Gemma Durham, Tony Lawrenson, Kat Moy, Suzanne Homewood. I'll be hosting that panel. So I'll be asking the questions. And again, that panel is just an amazing panel of not only speakers, but actually the content that it will provide. It will give you ideas and concepts and how other businesses are treating the payment practices. And also, let's be honest, in this cost of living crisis we face with small businesses going under, we're trying to help the economy. We're trying to support smaller businesses as well as large to try and see what we can do. So it's all about breaking down those common barriers, those communication barriers. So that will be an expert panel. We're delighted to have that team with us. 12:30, Mike's favourite part of the day, lunch. It's a 2-course buffet lunch according to this, and a bit of networking. And what we're also doing at that time is because we've got the world-renowned Mary Schaefer, AP Guru, and Brad Burton together on the stage, not together on the stage doing their own thing, but actually what we thought it'd be worthwhile is if you've ever wanted a question answered by one of those gurus, we're going to give you the time. So it's meet the author, meet the expert. Mary's bringing along 50 copies of her signed book. Brad's going to do the same, but it's more important. You can ask them questions, you can get yourself involved, get some photos, a photo op. Mary's flying in from the States. Very rarely do you get somebody of Mary's expertise and level that you can go and meet unless you have the ability to fly out to the US. And at the moment, with all the travel restrictions, Mary's taking the time and effort to do that. And also, you've got the time to speak to Brad. Brilliant session. Do that over some lunch, so you can share that time with them. And then 1:30, this is what it's all about, the awards. The APA Conference Annual Awards for 2022, 10 categories this year. And although we've had masses and masses of people put themselves forward, teams, individuals, etc., there's still time. Make sure you get your nominations forward. And the one thing I say about our awards is not only have they got bigger and larger and more impactful in what they do, but it's the taking part that's really important. Nominating your individuals, your teams, your managers, your organizations means an awful lot because it shows and recognizes you and your individuals and your teams for all the good stuff you do. So please, by all means, get those nominations in. If you make it for, to the top listed, finalist, all the better. And if you win, all the better. But actually just get your team nominated, get your individuals or your organizations. You've got to be in it to win it. We will also be then, absolutely announcing the full list of the top 100 influencers for 2022 into 2023. And again, be in that room, go and reach out to those people who are in the room, the influencer community, but also take a look, see whether you think that you deserve a place on that for next year. And there's nominations forms that will be available to you for nominating next year, if that's what you want to do. But go talk to them, go and see these individuals, go and ask them, what did they do to make that list? Really importantly. Straight after that, we've got a 2:30. Again, wow, what a panel, what a lineup. Compliance and control, it's badged, but actually we're going to delve into the world of what does compliance control in the real world of today? All the stuff we've gone through over the last 2-3 years, what does that really mean? Do we need to go back to basics? Are we ready to really improve the compliance controls? We've got things like the UK SOX law that's coming down the road to us. But why go and talk about something that's 2-3 years away if you haven't got the basics right? So Nicholas Briley, Stuart Griffiths, Sid Vasili, Phil Spence and David Hurd, an array of experts. We're talking about that on the main stage from 2:30 till 3. Make sure you do that. Another coffee break. Again, join the queue. Try and get ahead of Mike and his cakes. And then, Mike, tell us a little bit about the workshops that we've got planned at 3:15.
Yeah, courtesy of a couple of our partners, we've created the opportunity for a bit of a breakout session. Obviously, we'll go. I mean, I'm going to be facilitating a session in the main hall. Our education director, Richard George. So the Mind the Gap session is going to be in the main hall with myself and like a panel of experts. We will be fleshing this out actually with a bit more detail. But I did throw it on Jamie last minute. Can you change the website? Because we had a meeting with the panel on Friday, and we've, obviously we're happy. The Mind the Gap session is going to be looking at the gap between, if there is a gap, and we'll discover that gap if it exists between the senior leadership team or C-suite level, so the heads of, and also the transactional finance teams themselves. How can we help people work together to understand the issues in their businesses? How can we provide tools, resources, and maybe into next year go and develop those resources for the benefit of our members and our partners, etc. And in our breakout session, which I believe we're going to have marshals on the day, it's a bit of a rabbit warren, but we've got a great room downstairs for about 150 people. I think that's the room capacity. But the team from ESCA and Market Dojo are going to be looking with the wider team. I say it's non-salesy. This is actually a panel of experts, but they are sponsored. Looking at the team P2P, S2P. Is it just marketing terminology? Or is there something we can learn from each other about what it actually means as an end-to-end process? And we're actually going to be following that up post-conference via one of our technology partners with some tools and resources that actually break that down and template it, that you can take away for your own business as a process evaluation tool. With our blessing, go and improve your businesses. And so that'll run till about 3:45 when we come back into the room for our next session.
Yeah, and again, what a way to end the conference. Claire's going to join us, Claire Brumby. I had the pleasure of seeing Claire live a year or so ago, and she just resonated with me in terms of her passion, her story. Anybody's watched Dragon's Den, which I'm an avid watcher of. She was on there. She tells a story about that, her successes, her failures, her ups and downs, her career, her swimming, and all the good stuff she does in her swimming. But if you want to be, really inspired before you leave us on that day, go and watch Claire's little slot. She's a high performance coach, keynote speaker, and she's also just a lovely, down to earth, lovely woman with a really great story to be told. So make sure you watch that. 4:15, straight after Claire, myself and Richard will try and do our best to, make sure that we've got the room where we need them to be in terms of, the content that you've hopefully enjoyed throughout the day, the education, and more importantly, the fun that you've had, and the network and the relationships you've built on that day. We'll close out with some competitions. We got to announce all the competitions. I'll give you a bit of a view of what the rest of this year looks like into next year, and Mike will speak about the House of Lords in a second, so you can give them a view of that. And then straight after that, 4:30 till whatever time, we indicate 5:30, but we also are very aware people are going to get planes, trains, automobiles, all the good stuff. That's when we sort of wrap up around 4:30ish. But there is a drinks reception, and that's where if I had any hair, we could let our hair down a little. We could get together, we celebrate, and the other thing we do, which we did post the 2019, we had this huge mirror, and it's a bit of fun. It's where you can dress up, put a hat or two on, put a sort of a template together. You can post the daft photos on social media if you wish. They always try and get me in somewhere, so I'm always taking daft photos, but it's a bit of fun. Take it as, leave it as you wish. But we're trying to do that as part of the drinks reception. Now, before I hand back to you, Mike, to tell us a little bit about the House of Lords, let's just quickly remind people of the awards. So we've got the awards themselves. So let me just quickly click on that. Here we go. So the awards, a little bit of details, how to do it, how to submit your entry. There are the categories: Team of the Year, Manager of the Year, Digital Transformation Award, Significant Team Achievement, Outstanding Contribution, Rising Star Award, the Leadership Award, Overcoming Adversity Award, Employee Engagement Award, and Wellbeing for Others. And you literally just have to click the downward arrow, gives you a bit of detail, and then pop your entry in there by clicking the button. Really, really simple. Make sure you've got those in. Little bit of details about the top 100 influencers. You've got the agenda. You've got the conference. Before we go, let's just look. 21 days and counting. Make sure you're there. Watch some of the videos and the highlights reels from previous things. There's our 3 headline speakers. Look, you've got to be in the room. I know we are officially sold out, but actually, as always, we have members that can't take their full allocation. Some people, for whatever reasons and challenges they may face, might not be able to attend. So we do have a bit of a reserve list. Reach out to either myself, Mike. My gorgeous wife has posted out today, actually, that she's got a couple of tickets. Don't know where she got them from. She kept them from me. So if you want a complimentary ticket or two, I'm sure Rachel will be more than obliging on that. Mike, look, we've taken everybody through, hopefully, the conference, wonderful sponsors, our headline sponsors, the event sponsors for things like the workshops. Also, during the awards, all of the awards are sponsored as well. So lots of opportunity for photos, videos, and getting involved. We also, during the conference, will tell our wonderful audience a little bit about what we're doing for the rest of the year into next year. But you mentioned last week, you dropped us in it. You know, the powers that be here had a whinge that we were preempting and telling people in advance. But you know what, we got away with it. House of Lords, go on, tell me a bit more detail about what's going on with that.
Yeah, we've paid the bill now, so it's happening. Yeah, Tuesday the 6th of December, we're going to be facilitating an invitation only. I say invitation only. It's going to be a pretty, I say small, 100 to 120 people maximum in the room. We're renting one of their terrace suites right on the Thames. It's got a little terrace, and it's lovely. When we went, we were quite impressed. I mean, it's the House of Lords, for goodness sake. It's location. It's awesome. But we're really pleased to be supported by Baroness Meacher, Liz Barclay, who, as we know, UK Small Business Commissioner, a host of other industry influencers, and also some leading people from the world of banking and finance. And we're going to be looking at a number of issues to do with unpacking, really, the conversation around ESG, payments, payment reporting, and also looking with a view into what may be coming down the line in the next 12, 18 months at compliance and controls, and how that fits into best practice and how we can help you, and how we can learn from each other about what works, what doesn't, and how to have those conversations within your own business. Because they'll be driven by, well, you know, we've got so much in terms of the compliance issue. Everyone's going to be focused on, you know, closing the doors to fraud and making sure that the right controls are in place, that, you know, everyone's protected and things happen the way they should. So yeah, that's going to be an interactive panel Q&A session, running from 10 o'clock in the morning till probably 2:30. I think we finish. We're going to have breakfast in the morning. We have some light bites and lunch. It's a seated banquet style thing, like I say, 100 people. So I will be announcing that. We'll get a web page up and a registration page up for all our members. But yeah, really excited about that. I mean, it's quite a high profile event. We've invited some dignitaries from the world of politics. If they can be there, it'll just be great for them, us, photo ops, PR. But yeah, it's going to be quite a senior event. So, you know, leaders of, heads of, that kind of thing. So really exciting, and more to follow on the detail. But save the date, Tuesday the 6th of December at the I think it's Cholmondeley Room and Terrace at the House of Lords. But you go in via the or whatever gate it is. You don't go in the main thing. You got a separate access. So you know, the team there showed us around. They showed us how it's going to work. The only thing I would say, you've got to get there a little bit early for registration. They do have airport style security, as you'd expect. But we'll talk more about that nearer the time.
Perfect, thank you, Mike. And not one mention of any food in that. But we are putting on a breakfast and we're putting on a lunch. And
I mentioned it twice.
Mike, I was expecting a full list of what you're getting and bacon butties and what, I don't know. But look, you know, it's yes, it absolutely is. You know, we wanted to end the year as we set out the year. We set out the year as we were going to do a lot of face to face. We've got, you know, Europe's largest accounts payable and procure to pay conference, which we're so proud of. And we couldn't do it without our members and our supporters and all the people who are coming along and meeting us for the first time. But actually what we've tried to do through the whole year is be with people as much as we possibly can, not just all the virtual that we see online all the time. It's not that people are bored of virtual, but actually I think people are really, you know, want to get back to face. We would never have sold out the conference, you know, 4 weeks in advance. And it's in excess of 400. Mike mentioned 330. If you take into account all our sponsors, us and our team, we're in over 400 people. So look, we would never have got to those numbers without desire and need from people in our industry. And that's the reason why we wanted to finish the year with the 6th of December with a really spectacular House of Lords in the city, in the London city, as a way of thanking you, but also more importantly, doing what trade associations and bodies like ours do, which is lobby. Go and find the issues of the day. What can we do to support? We're bringing exceptional senior talent from the world of politics, banking, financial institutes from around the world. We have people flying in from Central Europe for this, by the way. that'll be a great event. It's going to be invite only. So, have a look at the webpage, look at what we're doing. But again, it's what we set out at the beginning of the year, do lots more face-to-face. It was a challenge for us, a big challenge, not only costly and resource, but it was a risk because of all the world's events that have been going on. But we're so thankful for all the people that have supported us. Come along, and whether you're members or non-members, hopefully you've enjoyed that. And that day gives us also a viewpoint of wrapping up on what should be an exceptional year. Right, Mike, look, 25 minutes on the dot. Let's wrap up with a few bits. Let's just remind everybody that you've got to get your nominations in. You've got 2 days left. I've had a few today, Jamie, am I too late? Yes. Go on, get your nominations in. Please get your nominations in for the awards because we want as many as we possibly can. Get them in. There are some reserved tickets if you wish to come along on the day. You've not been involved before. Reach out to myself and Mike in the first instance. If you can't get hold of us, the team, Rachel Costas, Ross, Michael, Carly, any of them will be able to support you. If you're really desperate to get in that room, I'm sure we can help. Make sure if you've already got your tickets, you've got the joining instructions, you've got all the details, location, timings, your travel arrangements. There's a whole bunch of people staying the evening before. Apparently, I'm buying the beer or the wine or the lemonade, hopefully, the night before. So if you are in the vicinity on the 11th October, make us aware, and you could come and join the team as we paint the town red. I won't. I'll be to bed early. Make sure you enter the competitions on the day. I think that's really important. There's lots going on the day. Workshops. Make sure you reserve your spot on the 2 workshops. That'd be important. Slido, download the Slido if you possibly can in advance, so you don't have to do the admin on the day. And I think also when you turn up on the day, there should be a ticket available with a little scanny barcode thingy-majig. Bring that if you can, because you can bring it on your phone, by the way, if you don't want to print off paper and save the environment. Bring the little code, we'll scan you in, makes the process a lot easier for you, get your badges and all that good stuff. And as Mike said, the most important part for all of our events is network, educate yourself, have a load of fun, and make a load of new connections. And come and see what the association's all about, which is our community. Really looking forward to it. Mike, any last words?
No. Only to say, I didn't say the House of Lords event will be free to all members and influencers and guests, courtesy of our sponsors. So thank you for that.
There you go. So so I can't charge you anyway, Nate. No, look, brilliant as always. Thank you, Mike, for all your support. Next week we've got Teresa Foxall joining us live for our session. She'll be talking about the exciting stuff that's been going on in the background with our new certifications, courses, programs, and qualifications. She'll talk about all that stuff and some membership stuff as well. Exceptional. Thanks again for everybody that's tuned in, or if you're watching it again, make sure you get your last minute nominations in. This is your final reminder. Myself and Mike will be on a totally different topic next week. But thanks again, Mike, for getting up so early. Thanks all. Speak to you again soon.